Hi everyone, it's Karen from Create Your Future. Today I wanted to share one of my client success stories with you guys. Before I start reading the story, I just want to say, because she kind of starts right off with what happened after our session, but what we talked about in our session was about doing living in the end techniques. These are very much the same ones that I talk about very in depth in my new Living in the End course. So if you're interested in learning more about living in the end techniques, check out my Living in the End course. And the link will be in the description below for that. Also, my link for coaching will be in the description below. And yeah, basically, living in the end techniques is focusing on what you want now, allowing yourself to give yourself the thing that you want now, having it now. And you're not doing this from the place of doing the exercise to get the thing, because if you're doing the exercise to get the thing, then you don't truly believe you have the thing. Instead, you're doing the exercise to convince yourself that you already have the thing, or better yet, to remind yourself that you have the thing. So, for example, if I'm thinking about having a specific relationship with a specific person, I would start to contemplate and think about what would it feel like to have that relationship now? What would I be thinking? What would I be doing? How would I be feeling? What would that look like? And I would just focus on like contemplating what my life would be like and what version of me I would be if I had that relationship now. Not to get the thing, not to get the relationship, because if I'm trying to get it, then I don't have it. But just to remind myself that I already have it. Ooh, yeah, I have it. It's here. Yep, that's me. That's the version of me that has this. I'm the version of me that is able to manifest whatever the intention is behind the exercise. But the point is to do the exercise for the purpose of enjoying it, and then that's what's going to get you the thing. So, into her success story. After Karen and I's last session, I immediately went into the how would I feel exercise and typed up all the feelings and scenarios on my computer. It made me feel a lot better focusing on living in the end instead of the problem. A day or two after our session and me doing that exercise, my sister told me our old coworker was going to have a birthday bowling party. I initially didn't want to go, but I asked her who was going, and she mentioned my SP was going, and I was very surprised. He never goes to these sorts of things with our coworkers/friends. My assumption is my SP knows I am really good friends with the birthday girl, so he knew that I would probably be there and wanted to see me. I say that because he isn't close to the birthday girl, so again, I was surprised he was going. I told my sister I would go, but I'd meet up with them over there. When I got there, I entered through the doors and I looked around for my friends. In my peripheral vision, I could see my SP looking over and staring at me for a long time. It was like one of those movie scenes where the guy is like in awe of the gorgeous girl walking in. LOL. I knew he was staring, but did not look over at him. I went over and said hi to all of my friends, including my SP. We gave each other a hug, and I was so glad he did. I was a little afraid he would feel awkward around me. As we went up for our turns to bowl, he said a few words to me, like little jokes and stuff, and also shared some food with me. It was super cute. At one point, my friends went outside, and I went to go with them. I noticed once I started walking out, my SP followed me to join me as well. He didn't say anything to me outside, but I assumed he just wanted to be around me since he followed me out. At the end of the night, we took a group photo, and he stood next to me. Looking at the photo, I am shocked I manifested this mini reunion. Now I am using the photo to visualize our relationship more effectively and evidence that I manifested this. And as evidence that I manifested this. I feel so happy that we are comfortable around each other, and he is following me on social media. He always looks at my stories, and now I am in the process of manifesting communication from him again. Karen is the best. Thank you so much. Extra success story. I booked a tattoo appointment back in July and was scheduled to go in this month. My SP and his sister go to the same tattoo shop as me, and I thought, what if I saw my SP or his sister there? Then thought, if I didn't, I would understand since the appointments were so far in advance due to COVID. The day finally came for my appointment, and I knew it would only take about 30 minutes. Towards the end of my session, my SP sister walked in. I was shocked because the appointment was scheduled so far in advance. What are the odds that out of the hundreds of appointments, I would see her just like I intended? I went over to her and gave her a hug, and she was so happy to see me. She then mentioned, I saw you hung out with my brother last week. This was only a week after the birthday party. I thought it was interesting that she only named me hanging out with him, since the picture she was talking about was a group photo. In my head, I laughed and thought, oh, you were going to see me hanging out with your brother a lot soon. LOL. She told me we should all hang out soon, and we hugged goodbye. I saw this as a huge sign of further evidence that I'm getting closer and closer to my relationship with my SP. With these events, I know I am the powerful creator, and no one can take that away from me. I will keep persisting in my desired end and doing the practices Karen has taught me. She totally knows what she's talking about. Thanks so much to everyone at CYF for being so wise and helpful. So one thing I want to point out about her story is there's a couple of times where she says, I assumed this. I assumed he wanted to be with me. I assumed this. And that's because that's exactly what that was. Like, you always get to decide, and you make the assumption of what someone's behavior means. You have to make the assumption that works for you. Even if, like for example, if someone doesn't text me back immediately, I can choose to make an assumption that, oh, whatever, he's just busy, he's gonna text me, or you know what, better yet, he wants to see me in person and tell me whatever in person. Or I can make the assumption, oh, they don't like me, and that's why they're acting this way or that way. That second one is gonna attract that scenario. So I always want to make the assumption that the behavior works in my benefit. So I think she said something like, I assumed that he wanted to be around me. My assumption is my SP knows I'm really good friends with the birthday girl, so he knew I would probably be there and wanted to see me. So she made the fact that he was going an assumption. She made an assumption that he already wanted to see her. Like, that's why he was going. He was going for her. And that assumption is going to be true in her reality because she's making that assumption. So your assumptions are always true. So make the assumptions that you want, make the assumptions that support your ends, that support what you're trying to manifest, because that's what's going to get you to what you want. I also want to say she has been working really hard, and well, not really hard. She's been working smart, because I just told someone the other day, work smart, not hard, right? It's not about sitting there and doing intentions for hours and hours on end and burdening yourself out, but it's about being in your end, focusing on what you want, and knowing that that's going to get you there, and knowing that you already have it now, like I said in the beginning of this video. So she's been working smart, hard, not hard, but she's been working smart on focusing on her end, and she's also been practicing with the mini list, and she actually was the success story also that I mentioned a while back ago with manifesting. I think she manifested like a little over $1,000 or something like that, a little bit over $1,000 as well. So she's been working on her mini list. She's been working on building her confidence as a manifester. And that is always helpful, because when you're building your own confidence as a creator, that's going to help you with all of the intentions you set. Because if you know you got one thing, then you know that you can get the other things, and you know that you're really the one in control. So building your confidence as a creator is very important. And yeah, she's been doing a really great job. I'm so proud of her, and I know she's going to have more success stories to come. And so the exercise she mentioned, like I said earlier, it's just focusing really on what you want, and what would that version be like, that version of you, or that version of the reality that you want. So what would it be like to already have this relationship? What would I be thinking? What would I be feeling? And let me tell you that you're not going to be thinking any of the things you're thinking now, because things you're thinking now are coming from a place of not having the thing. If you focus on having the thing, you'll be able to better tap into the thoughts of the version of you that has it. And they're completely different thoughts. When you have something, your mindset is completely different from when you don't have something. Like, even if you think about something simple, like having a certain amount of money. So if you know that you have money, you wouldn't be worried about the lack of it. You wouldn't be worried about like paying a bill, because you know you have the money in there to pay it. Like, there's a lot of things you wouldn't be thinking at all if you have it. Or say that you have a car, right? You would never be thinking, oh, well, how am I going to get there? Or like, let me arrange transportation. That would never even cross your mind, because the automatic assumption you would make is, oh yeah, my car. Oh yeah, my car, right? So being in a state of having a thing, the mindset is completely different. So the more you practice getting yourself of like, what is it like to have it? Ooh, I have it now. and practicing getting into that mindset, it's just going to help you to live in the end and bring about the thing in the 3D. And like I said, if you want to know more about the subject, learn more about the subject, utilize these techniques, my Living in the End course, I go really in depth into how to live in the end and how to use techniques for living in the end to manifest anything. So it'll help you with an NSP, it'll help you with a home, anything that you're working on manifesting, that course will be able to help you with. This is very general. And I do have another course on manifesting multiple things at once and how to make manifesting easy for you. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.